Hi, everyone. It's Donna Landy, and I think this is week four, three, four. Anyway, we are talking about the cooking show tonight. Four. Thanks, Kay. Um, and I'm really pumped because this is truly the lifeline of our business. A few of us heard Belinda Ellsworth speak Monday night, and it was a late night. That's been a late night for me every night this week. But one of the things she said was bookings is the heartbeat of your business and recruiting is the lifeline of your business. And I thought that was really powerful to keep things in perspective. Of course, the cooking show is where we do business, right? And the main place that we do business. Of course, we do know there's lots of other opportunities online, and I'm sure your imagination can take your business into so many places, but still the foundation is that cooking show. So without further ado, what I would like to do is just hear what's happening, what's working for you, how was your week, who has a full calendar that you're excited about, who wants to share first?
Okay, I can go.
Yay!
I just had a vendor event and it wasn't very popular. There was maybe like, I don't know, I think I had like 20 drawing slips. But I emailed them and told them they want like a free cooking show, and then I follow up with a call. And I booked 3 parties so far.
Yay!
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fourth
Woohoo!
in the follow-up, right? So what did you say when you
Yes.
followed up, and how did you book those? Because I'm sure others would like to hear.
Well, I'm still not a big person of the phone. So what I did is I first sent them an email like the next day, and then the day after that, I sent them a text message, and then about a third of them responded via text message. And then the day after that, I called them. So
Right?
yeah, and then I just told them that they entered my raffle and that they want a free cooking show. And normally, when people host a party, they provide the ingredients, and that's where it can get a little pricey. But with their free cooking show, all they have to do is invite friends, and I'll just come over and we'll have some fun.
Good.
Yep.
Anyone have any questions for Claudia? Who's doing some fairs this month or next month?
I have a question for Claudia. Everybody who registered won a free cooking show, right?
Yes.
So how many people was that? I'm just curious how many people you called.
I think it was like 20 drawing slips. Like it wasn't a very big event.
Okay. But you got
Yeah.
3 bookings out of 20. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I left some voicemail, so I normally try and contact them like 3 times, and then if they don't answer, then I just add them to my newsletter and leave it at that.
Yep. And what is the average? 1 in 10, right? So she's
Yeah.
average, and people are booking right now if you're just asking. Awesome. Who else has something to share that you're excited about?
I'm excited because I had 2 of my recruits qualify within the past 2 weeks. So they're qualified now, which is really exciting for my team. So
that's awesome. And what do you attribute that to?
just really strong follow-up and support with them, making sure that throughout the entire process I'm there to help support them. So it's not just signing them up and leaving them hanging.
Absolutely. And they always say it's really good to, especially when someone's brand new, I mean, that's the time to invest in folks and to kind of attach them to your hip. I like to use that idea because they will follow whatever you're doing. So, try and always piggyback everything you do so that you're not, taking extra time. You can just continue to work your business and piggyback. And so good for you, Kelsey. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. That's 6,000 points for the trip.
Woohoo!
Yay! I know we'll see you there. Okay, anyone else? Anyone have any big ahas this week? Take some new training, make some contacts, do something new and different?
I've been doing something new.
Okay.
So I've been taking a lot more videos of myself, like using products and like my favorite products and talking about freezer meal workshops. And that seems to like attract a lot more people because instead of just sending them to like a Pampered Chef link, they know that like they know me, so they see me using it.
Good, good. Have you been using that to sell products at all online?
Yes, I actually recorded some just for the live Facebook parties. So I recorded like an intro and then like some products. So for that specifically too.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm gonna have you share those so that I can even see I should probably do something like that. Anyone else doing Facebook parties? I had sent out the entire outline for you all. Those of you who are tech savvy, you jumped on it probably. And those of you who, are not, don't worry about it. It's probably not where you want to spend your time. So don't ever think that you have to do everything in this business. Find what really works for you. Anyone else do it? Or do an online party?
No, but I'm trying something new this week, so I just sent this out to a few of my hosts coming up. I'm doing something called Host the Perfect Show. So there's 6 different things that they can do within their show, like invite 40 to 50 guests, collect 10 outside orders, have 10 to 12 orders at their show, get 2 bookings, have somebody sign up off their party, and then based on the number of those that they get, they'll get some free cash that they can use in their show. So if they get 2 out of 6, they get $10. 4 out of 6, they get $15. And if they get the perfect show, then they're going to get $40 to spend of cash.
Bonus free. Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Will you share that with us? I love that idea.
yeah, I just sent it out, so I haven't seen the ripple effect of it just yet, but pretty excited. Heard a couple of my hosts are pretty excited about it. So
good. We are going to talk about that tonight. That's why I love that you just shared that. I think that when you are at the show, and you are coaching your host, that's something you want to maximize. That's the time to get the bookings. That's the time to get the sales. And so by offering even just small incentives, then you can really maximize that. So good for you. Okay.
I have a question about the Facebook parties.
Mm-hmm.
When you're or even just general parties too for events, how do you get your hostesses to easily add you to their parties? I've been having problems since I'm not friends with everybody in terms of finding me and getting me onto their events. Is there an easy way to do that?
The way I do it is, well, normally the hosts are my Facebook friends. So I actually just create the event for them and then just make them an admin.
and for people who I don't know, I tell them ahead of time that I'm going to Facebook message them that day or the next day, and then they have 24 hours to respond, and I'll create the event for them. So I just ask their commitment to see that coming through to answer my friend request.
Hold on one second, Kelsey. So somebody's either rattling or type in. If we can hear just like a background. If you could mute. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't know if you heard that or not, but I tell my host that I'm going to friend request them within 24 hours if I'm not friends with them. And then they have to, accept me, and I tell them that I'll create the show for them, and then they can invite.
Do you have a separate Facebook account for your business then, or how do you work that?
I don't use Facebook personally that much, so I just use it for mostly business type stuff. I have a different page that I add them on to.
Yeah, I have a page, but I do use Facebook a lot since I'm not close to family or friends, so it's not something I really want open to everybody.
What you can do, I'm a little different. I'm pretty open about Facebook. I actually add all my hosts, and I find that over the years even they'll come back to me just because it's so easy to contact people via Facebook these days. But what you can do is you can add them as friends, and then I don't know where exactly, but there's a setting where you can group your hosts so they don't see like your personal stuff, if that's something that you're worried about.
Okay, maybe it's just something I need to go back and look at or go into a little closely.
Okay, I was just playing with who I'm muting. Okay. All right, awesome. Well, and we can do some sharing later too. But there's one thing I did want to talk about again, and that is your trackers. I know I got a couple of them, and I know people hate doing them. But if you have phone calls with me, you can even call them in. But it's so much easier. It saves me so much time if I can just look at them. You're missing a great opportunity by not doing that for a couple of reasons. One, it is your accountability tool. It's your tool of, if you've set a goal, first of all, it helps you to set a goal, right? Which we know when you don't have a goal, nothing happens. And secondly, it helps you track that goal. And also it allows me as well as yourself, you're going to see it probably before I will, areas of opportunity within your business, things that you can, really concentrate on or focus on, things that maybe are a miss or things that you're doing exceptionally well that you can build on. And so I can't stress enough how important those are. And if you are not setting up calls with me or your director, you are missing an opportunity to just, again, brainstorm, because each one of us does things very differently. So be sure that you're taking advantage of that as part of this program. And I think we had, who just joined us? Hi, Troy. Okay, so I want to talk about cooking shows. And I know on one of the conversations we had, Sherry Carter and myself last week, we were talking about, recruiting, recruit leads, booking talks, and all of that. And one of the things I loved that Belinda said was that 80% of the people that are interested in the business at your shows are interested because of income. That's the first big thing that they're interested in. So if you're not doing something, talking about money, show me the money, or doing the envelope activity, or just mentioning what people can earn, what the potential is, then you are losing 80% of your potential leads, your recruit leads right at your show. Okay. And the one thing, of course, Belinda said and stressed, did anyone else on the call go to Belinda's training yet?
I went last Saturday.
You did? Okay. So isn't that what she said?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So tell everyone what we talked about and the change that you made. I was so excited about it.
Okay. I watched the Show Me the Money video, and then I don't usually tell people the 3 ways to get our products. I don't really go into that. I wasn't going into that at the beginning. And so Donna convinced me that I needed to be doing that at the beginning. And so I not only, told them that they could purchase, but of course the second way is they could host. And then the third way, I just told them right up front that I made $1,300 for working 7 times in February. And that's not even 2 nights a week. So I think they were all, pretty impressed that I told them how much I made. They were pretty impressed about that. And then I did all this at the beginning. And I do a station style show. That's all I do. So we did all of that, before we went into the kitchen to cook. And I think it made a big difference because I was finding that I was having shows where I wasn't booking any shows, or maybe I would only book one, and I couldn't figure out why. And I booked 2 shows from that particular one. So I guess because I said it all up front, they must have been listening then.
And isn't that what Belinda said? That the first 10 minutes is your golden opportunity.
Yeah.
So we are going to spend some real focused time there. But in chatting with Sherry, one of the things, you can just be generic about it and just say the average consultant earns $600 to $800 going out 1 or 2 times a week. Or if you have your own track record, you could just say, hey guys, I just, got to tell you, this is a really awesome business. So watch what I do tonight, because last month I went out 7 times and earned $1,300. So if any of you are in the market for some extra income or looking for some different income streams, this might be something perfect for you. And I'll share more about that later. And that's basically what she did. And of course, she added some booking lines in too. So sometimes just looking at your show, looking at what you're saying and doing, writing it out. Sherry actually wrote out a new opening for herself.
I had
And
to write it out.
huh?
I had to write it out, or it wasn't going to come out the way I wanted it to.
Exactly. And so a couple things I wanted to let you know is I do the same thing. I write everything out. And I realized a couple things when I was at Belinda's training. And that is, we already know this, but it really brought it home. And the first is why people book. So why do people book?
Fun.
Fun, yes. Okay, you got to be quiet because you went to her training.
Oh, sorry.
She said one is fun. Fun is one, right? Because it rhymes. And you just need to remember that. It is about the fun. So we have got to build that into the whole picture of hosting a show. And the first thing I want you guys to think about is how fun is your show? Not just the show itself, but how fun is it to work with you, to be the host and work with you? How easy do you make it? How fun is it? What's the second reason that people book? Everybody but Sherry.
Free.
Free stuff.
Free, but actually what she said, and this was big, huge for me, is that people don't really believe that they're going to get free, but they really do pay attention to discounted. So shopping at a 50% with a 50% discount was some words that I picked up that I just thought, oh my God, they're just fabulous. And the words free shopping spree versus, just free. I don't know why, but isn't it true? I guess we think that, yeah, right, we're not going to get anything free. But if you tell me I'm going to have an opportunity to shop at 50% off, I'm going to listen, especially when you start looking at some of these larger price products, right? If you're selling them. What's the third thing?
Friends.
Yeah, the willingness to help a friend, right? Help the host. So those are the top 3 reasons that people book. And so we have got to get that out all through the show. And so you should even be asking yourself, okay, what am I doing for the host when she gets a couple bookings? Am I doing anything to create some urgency because of that loyalty, the willingness to help a friend? Okay. I know I've done it in the past. I know Kelsey, I bet that's one of the little bonuses on her little chart. What did you call it? Cash?
Yeah, the perfect show.
The perfect show. That's right. I bet there is an option on there for that. And that's exactly what we want to do. Now, why do people not book? Why don't they book?
They're scared nobody's going to show up.
Okay, that could be one. Or that might just even be an objection. What is the number one reason that people don't book?
Commitment.
What is that?
Commitment.
Nope. Number one reason people don't book.
They have to clean their house.
Nope, these are all objections. So I'm glad they're coming out because we want to address them.
They don't have the time.
No,
They're too busy.
that's an objection. We're going to address that. The number one reason that people don't book is that they're not asked. That's the number one reason they were
We need
not
to say it again because
Say that again. You cut out. The number one reason is what?
were not asked.
Uh,
The number one reason. Sherry, what were you saying?
that we couldn't hear you.
Okay. So the one thing Belinda said, and this was so brilliant, and it's just a little bit different approach, because I've been doing the 3 ways to get your products in the beginning, 3 ways to get your products at the end. If you can't ever remember anything else, just do that, okay? But I do believe that there are power in the words, and that if we will even memorize an exciting, fun opening, an exciting, fun close, that we can get much greater results. But before I go there, I want to talk a little bit about that close and about the fact that the reason people don't book is because they're not asked. It's not just saying, would you like to have a show, when they check out. One of the things Belinda said, and some of you, if you've taken any sales training, have heard this before, but she said, your job is to help them make a decision. And how do you help people make a decision? You get them saying yes. You ask them questions and get yeses. And if you can get 3 in a row, right? You guys are shaking your head. It's true. Then you will get a yes. So write these down, because what she said, I loved her questions. So the first question at checkout is, did you have fun tonight? Yes. Are there additional items that you wanted that you couldn't get today? Yes. Do you think your friends would have fun at a show? Or which theme show do you think your friends would love? Okay. You see how you want to kind of gear them towards it. Isn't it true? If they had fun, that's 2 objections right there. And if they want more products, and if they're excited about the theme shows, or if they think their friends would have fun, really, that is one of the number 1 reasons that people do have shows, is to provide fun for their friends. It isn't necessarily, okay, to get that free stuff. So the days of us piling on, oh, you're going to get this for free and that for free and this for free, you probably get that sometimes from your host saying, I don't want to invite people here to buy so that I can benefit. I want them to come and have some fun. I want them to come experience all the fun that you're going to, provide these new mealtime solutions. So, and we should start using words like, your friends are going to love it, okay? The other thing, and I will get to this later, but you guys mentioned a bunch of objections. And what I liked that Belinda said was, go ahead and handle them. Get them out there. Like, I know you all are busy, but here's how easy it is to have a show with me. And I know you probably think it's expensive to have a show, but here's all it costs. And here's how you can also get the meals for free. And again, and I know some of you work full time, so I also offer, weekend shows, or I can do work shows or whatever. So, or online shows or catalog shows. So you want to kind of throw some of those out there. How many of you do anything like that at your show? Kind of throw those objections out.
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah. And that's why you've always had great bookings, Sherry. Again, Sherry's the number 1 consultant in the Landy team last month, but is consistently up in the top 10. And so, because she's handling those, discussing them, letting people, because they are thinking about it. I mean, when you all went to a show, has everyone here been to was at a show as a customer first before you became a consultant? Okay, it's usually unlikely that you just signed without even experiencing a show. So at the show, weren't you wondering to yourself, okay, so yeah, I think I'd like to have a show, but geez, this looks like a lot of people. Or geez, that, I wonder who bought the food. Or I wonder how much it costs to do this. Or I wonder how many people she had to invite. Or I don't know any people. All these things go through our mind. So if we can get a few of the key ones out, I think that you're in better shape to book shows. So again, the reason that we're doing shows definitely is to sell, but bookings is the lifeline of your business. Right? So if you don't go and get bookings, at least 2 bookings, you guys all saw the video about 2 bookings versus 1 booking, right? If we don't get at least 2 bookings at every show, we're going out of business fast. Isn't that true? Okay. Or we're going to be on the phone, right, Claudia? So, okay, here's what I want you to kind of hear. And I've rewrote this. You guys can download it. but I just want you to hear it. And I still don't have it memorized, but it's starting to become internal. But just, you might even, kind of close your eyes right now and just listen and see how this sounds, and as far as an opening. Because we do provide, we got to get our mission in there. We provide solutions. We provide great mealtime solutions, okay? And I don't think we're doing a great job of it. Now, I do know that you can use Belinda's canned thing word for word. I didn't have that available. She had a pretty powerful one. Sherry, do you happen to have it, or did anyone from Raleigh purchase it? She said it was like on track 2 of the sales one for bookings or something. Do you remember that? This is like whole canned opening for Pampered Chef.
No, I don't. She said so much, it was, it was hard to remember it all, but I don't remember. I didn't know we could purchase it from her.
Yeah. Well, there was kits, but anyway, I think this does the job. And so I gave it to you already. So the first thing is, thank you so much for coming, and you're in for a real treat because we are going to have so much fun. Have you ever stressed about meal planning? Tonight we're going to learn some simple meals that are quick and easy and under $2 per serving, if it is. And you're going to get a chance to try out our cooking tools. You're going to see that they will save you time, money, and they're easy to use. And most importantly, they will make your mealtime preparation enjoyable and fun. Now, I know you are all going to fall in love with many of these products, and the hardest job that you're going to have is deciding what to get tonight and what to get at your own show. When you have your own show, you'll get a chance to shop at 50% off, and we'll also pamper you with a free shopping spree. Your friends will love our new theme shows, like our Mexican Fiesta, where I can teach you how to make homemade margaritas, or a Taste of Italy show, where I can show you how to make a healthy Italian dishes that are fast, easy, and fresh. Or maybe your friends would love our new main dish salads. And I've been flipping out the recipe cards for those, and Oz, they're just dying over those. I mean, salads are in right now. We are very on target with that. Where you will learn delicious, healthy salads that the entire family will love. Now, I'm sure at least one of you is going to book or want to have a wine, cheese, and chocolate show and treat your friends to a fun girls' night out. So tonight's theme is our Mexican theme, and we're going to feature this fabulous taco ring and homemade salsa and guacamole. But before we get started, I'd like to invite you to watch what I do tonight. If you're looking for an extra stream of income, please let me know. On average, our consultants earn an extra $600 to $800 just for doing 1 or 2 shows a week. Now, as you watch me here tonight, imagine what your family could do with an extra $600 to $800 per month. Now, maybe it's summer camp, or braces for the kids, or that new car, or a college fund, or maybe it's to supplement retirement. Whatever it is, if you're looking for an extra stream of income, I'll be happy to give you some information to look at later. So let's get into groups now, and then you can get into the cooking. I don't know how long that was. Was it too long? Was it interesting?
I think it was perfect.
Was it fun? I think if we timed it, it was probably 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, but we got all the important things out. Were you intrigued? Right? Were you already saying, wow, this is a fun theme shows? Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about that. Were you already piqued interest? Did I already pique some interest about the income potential here without blowing you away? Okay? Is that comfortable? Yeah. Was that comfortable? Yeah? Okay. And
yes, that was like right on point.
Yeah, how many of you do an opening like that? Sometimes we're all over the place, right? But to have a good, clean opening that covers all of the important things, most importantly, fun, and also awesome opportunity. Okay?
Can I make a suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
I would call them workshops or a class instead of the word show.
Yes. In fact, I typed this really fast. You're absolutely right. I've been only using the word workshops. So yes, I will write that down right now. But yeah, people have loved that. But I did do a fundraiser last night, and we did it like a regular interactive show where I had some of the students come up and help me. So there still are different types of shows. So workshop is kind of one, but yeah, you're right. Okay. Any other comments? So take a look at your opening, okay? And I've typed that whole thing out for you. You know, feel free to edit it and change it. It really is the 3 ways to get our products with a lot more personality and a lot more fun. And I'm even going to have to do some practicing to get all those words in there. But isn't that what people are looking for? Time saving, money saving, fun. You know, they want to know what's coming, and that sets the tone for just a real exciting show. Now, the next thing that I thought was really funny was, and it kind of came to me when I was doing shows, and at the end of the show, this lady said, I don't ever use the microwave. I only bake. And I did the whole show on the microwave. And I thought about it. I was like, geez, you know, I should know my customers before we get started. So now when I do station shows, what I do, I don't just let people get into groups, but I will go ahead and guide them. So I'll say, okay, who here loves to cook on top of the stove? Or maybe not loves, but does a lot of frying, does a lot of stovetop cooking, one pot on top of the stove. And then I'll go ahead and assign them the grill pan or something on top of the stove. Who here bakes? They might get the pineapple upside down cake because they're going to be wowed, or they'll get something that's in the oven. Who does a lot of salads and chopping and, you know, busy work in the kitchen? And that way we've got the right people with the right tools. And let me tell you, they buy if you put them with the right tools because they're not going to see everything. Isn't that true in these stations? So how many of you are doing something like that, or just kind of like randomly? Go ahead. Who said yes?
I did it last week because you told me to.
Yeah. How did that work?
Well, it worked good because the one person who cooked on top of the stove, because that's where she normally cooks, she used the grill pan, and that's why she booked the party, because she wants the grill pan.
Yep. Sonia, I saw you raise your hand too.
The very first show that I did, after we talked about the station shows, I had 3 recipes. One was soup, one was a dessert, and one was a beverage. And so I said, this is what we're going to use to make each one. And I kind of let them pick, but told them that we were going to split up into 3 groups. And they just went for it because they wanted to use certain products. And then when they got theirs done, or it was cooking or baking or whatever, then I had a table on the side with all the products that I brought. And then I'd say, now look here, and I want everybody to pick something that you don't know how to use and ask me about it. I'm going to show you how to use it. So that even got more sales.
Cool. The other thing is to make sure that if someone has a product and loves it, putting them with that product will help them sell it to other people too, and also build up some of their excitement. So if someone has the deep covered baker, you definitely want to take advantage of those testimonials. Sometimes, we get away from that. The activity that you do at the end of these station shows, where, what is it called, the product, the shop and share, there you go. That is a place to really bring out some testimonials. Now, the next thing I wanted to mention is that once they've cooked, okay, but before they cook, you want to go ahead and then sell those power tools in each of those categories. Take the time here. You have their undivided attention. So how many of you do that? How many of you sell the power tools in the groups before you start and let them cook? Does anybody do that? Okay, share it. So tell us like what you might say. Give me the station and then what you might say. What tool are you going to sell?
Well, I'm really brain dead tonight, but I'll do the grill pan because it's on my mind.
Okay.
I just talk about you must have this grill pan in your kitchen because well, first I say is there anybody in the room who has somebody who will grill for you 2 or 3 times a week? And a couple of people always raise their hand. Well, if I want grilled food at my house, I have to do the grilling, and I don't like to grill when it's hot, cold, muggy, or buggy. And everybody laughs. I have to grill inside. And I love this grill pan because you can make on this grill pan everything from a grilled cheese sandwich, ham and cheese sandwich, just like they have at Hardee's. You can grill chicken, steaks, pork chops, hamburgers. You can even do pineapple rings on this thing. It is absolutely wonderful. It never goes under my cabinet. It stays on the stove all the time. We use it 2 or 3 times a week. I absolutely love it.
Awesome. That is minimally what you want to do to sell a power tool as powerful as the grill pan. So that was maybe a minute? And then you might even highlight the little chef's tongs with it. And you might even mention, hey, this is one of the dinner sets I'm going to tell you about later. But that you want to take the time to do that up front because, again, that's when you have their attention. And so one of the things we've done is we've given you, if you look at that show outline, depending on what stations you're cooking or what tools you're cooking with, we've given you tons and tons of words to say to actually sell that power tool. And you can see there's at least 7, 8 bullet points for any of the power tools that are over $100. Okay.
And don't you think it really helps to paint a picture of the food?
Definitely. I think that people relate to food versus anything else, and even throwing in some, grilled chicken in 4 minutes or 6 minutes. I mean, those kind of things, again, people looking to save time, save money, healthy instead of drive-through, those things. So yeah, absolutely. And you'll see all of them listed there. So if you don't have some great lines to say, we've provided you with some great options. Now, the next thing that I want to bring to your attention, this was huge. This was so huge. You guys are going to love me. Is Belinda talked about selling sets. And if you've been talking to me in the last month or two, I keep saying, why don't we have more sets? Why are we not selling sets? We used to have the dinner in no time set. We used to sell so many of them. Well, Belinda said that people love sets. They love simplicity. And McDonald's is the king of sets, right? That when they came out with the meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, not only did they upsell and double and triple their sales, but they simplified things so that people don't even think about ordering just a sandwich. They always are going to order meal 1, 2, or 3, right? Isn't that true?
Combos. They're called meal combos, aren't they?
Combos, that's right. And so what are we doing to sell our combos? Okay, so here's what I'm wondering. How many of you take your catalog and open it up and say, okay, everyone, I want you to turn to page 32 and 33, and I want you to see our dinners done combos. And you can literally use the words right here to describe them. So what I've done, and see, this is my show book. Can you see this? So I have, I've got the whole catalog in plastic, but I even wrote on here, these are our bundles. So this is bundle set 1. It's our dinner in no time. And you will love this for making those one-pot meals in less than 30 minutes. Who has this? Who has this deep covered bacon? Okay, give them a testimonial. What are you cooking it? What do you love about it? And you know what? When you get this, but isn't this a great deal? Won't you absolutely need these salad choppers? Yes. And when you get this whole set, you're going to save $5. Plus, you're going to be able to get our guest special today, which is your choice of blah, blah, blah. How many of you do this? And just go through these 4 sets. What a missed opportunity. This is was huge for me. And it's right in our catalog. And there is savings. So then the second one is our rock crock. And I gave you the words. I actually typed these up for you too. But they're actually the words from right here. And again, just remember to always grab a testimonial if you can. If you don't have a testimonial, this is where you use your testimonial. Or you use a testimonial, use a story. Stories are key, right? Use a story of one of your customers. Oh my goodness, when, my host found out that she could make a pineapple upside down cake in 6 minutes, or maybe how one of your hosts now can make, dinner for her family in 15 minutes. But tell stories of how these also, how effective they are. And then, of course, the grill pan right there. So you guys, many of you use this grill pan today. You can save $5 on the set, and so on and so forth, okay? And you may want to go ahead and put in some words like, for those of you looking for healthier meal options, this grill pan is a must in your kitchen. For those of you, every cookbook, okay, recommends a 12-inch skillet. Every kitchen needs a 12-inch skillet. So if you don't have a good one, if you've got one peeling, this is a set for you that you can have for a lifetime. The other thing about these, okay, is you guys all see how important this is? And shoot, I just went blank. Oh, I know what it was. I'm so excited because I forgot that we have this humongous cookbook for the grill pan. And of course, well, you guys know about the baker one. But there is a grill pan cookbook that is hundreds of pages, salads and whatever. And I will also load this onto our PC Chef, our recipe box, okay? So that what you can say is when you buy one of these bundles, you are going to get hundreds of exclusive recipes in an e-cookbook. How cool is that? And of course, the recipe box, you guys all know about my recipe box, right? It's your recipe box, doesn't have a consultant name or you can change it. But that way, you're also giving added value. So why are we not selling these sets? What do you think?
I actually think this is very good because I remember when I first started, we used to make our own deep cover baker sets for $99, and I used to sell them like crazy. And now that I think about it, this is probably why I haven't sold as many as I used to. So thanks for the reminder.
Absolutely. And if you're cooking with these items at your shows, but now see who is this? Think about who these are. Here's your baker and your microwaver, right? Your fast dinner in no time, under 15 minutes, your quick cookers. Here's your stovetops, right? Also oven. And of course, then we have our wonderful stone collection. And if you just flip through this cookbook, make sure you have a couple of these cookbooks with you. But if you just flip through, hold on, let me get it. I have been selling so many brownie pans, and I don't even cook brownies, but just by bringing this, I have a two-sided book. This side is the brownie pan, okay, and this side is the, and they're upside down, so is this one, and I flip through this, and I have been selling stones like crazy, just flipping through it, and just then passing this. And you don't even have to take these stones with you. Usually I have been taking one, but just keep always feature one set of cookbook at your shows, okay? Print it out. And teach your consultants to do this too. How many of you do something like that with the cookbooks?
I usually take the deep cover baker cookbook.
I've never seen that. I've been going to shows 2008. I've never seen that.
Okay, cool. Well, and they are all in our recipe box, okay? So you want to
Recipe box, where is that?
Okay, who wants to tell them where the recipe box is?
Donna had posted a link. I'm not sure which group it was, but it's a generic link to Evernote that anybody can just copy and paste.
Yep, and I'll post it again.
Can you
Donna?
pinned post for our director page, destination director page?
I don't want to pin it, but it's I can just throw it on there, and it's a Evernote that I'm going to continue to update. So I'm going to add the grill pan to it. And then, does anyone have a skillet cookbook? The 12-inch skillet cookbook? I would love to add that too, because that would be our full service, bonus. I'm just so excited about this. I'm on a lookout for one.
I think I have one. I'll check.
Okay.
I think I have one too that I got from Lydia or somebody.
Yep. Let's get it on there, because now we can really sell these dinner sets.
Donna, question about the cookbooks. So now, so in lieu of emailing a customer the cookbook that pertaining to the vessel they purchased, we just direct them to our website where the recipe box link is posted, correct?
Yes. Now,
And when they click on that, it's going to take them to the recipe box, because every time you add a recipe to that, it automatically updates, right? We don't have to do anything, right?
that's correct. Unless you want to make it personal, add your name, or you already have Evernote, you can do that. But for most consultants, you can just feel free to use that. The one thing that you may have to do is, if you're not using Google Chrome browser, I understand it doesn't work in Explorer. It only works, you can only add that recipe box into your thing with Google Chrome for some reason. Okay, so if you're having some problems with that, let me know. But you can always just send that link. Like many of you probably noticed, I added that link onto the bottom of my signature too. But you're really better off to put a link to your website and say the recipes are there. But I've been playing with both of them right now. That once they get on your website, you've got all the inspirations, so that you'd have all the Easter pictures and all the Easter recipes. And then once they get on there and start shopping, life's going to be good. My online orders are really starting to add up just every month. Go ahead, Sherry.
What you were saying about Google Chrome, did you mean that wasn't working when we were trying to email out of our PC website? Is that what you meant?
No. Okay, you know how if you go to my website, I'd have to take a minute to do that. But if you go to my website, you'll see, let me show you real quick. If I go to Pampered Chef, and I go to my person.
I'm having trouble emailing out in my shows the last few days.
Say that again?
I go into my show when my show is closed to email the recipes to everybody, and I've been having a major problem, and I haven't taken the time to call tech support. And I just wondered if it was because I had an Evernote link stuck in there.
I don't know what the heck I just did. I was trying to get back to, okay, come on. And I wanted to show you my screen, but now I can't see anybody.
Were your problems since the last update I think it was over the weekend or so? Because the site has seemed really buggy since they did that last update.
Well, it wasn't last weekend, though. I think it was 2 weekends ago. When I tried last week, and then I tried. Well, I know for a fact that I have always been able to email the recipes the day after my party. And when I called them and told them I was having a problem, they said, "Oh, you have to close the party first. You have to close the show first." Well, I know that hasn't been the case in the past. So I closed the show and then tried, and I keep getting something that says server error. I got one of them to go through, but the other one just doesn't want to work.
I can't get back to this meeting here. I don't know what the heck's going on with my.
And I'm pasting. I usually use Bitly to shorten the Evernotes, but I was trying to send my recipe box. That's what I was trying to send. So
There we go.
I just wondered if I needed to be using Google Chrome because I was using Firefox, but it seems slow to me. Is that what you mean by buggy?
Well, for me, I know when I closed my party on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, it originally told me that I owed $10 as a consultant. And then when I pushed submit and closed the party, it said I now owed $350. And it was, talk about a freak out moment. And then there were just some other things. I've had orders disappear, and it seems like some other people have had issues also.
Mm. That's scary.
What?
Yeah.
What happened here?
And of course, it was after hours, so there was no contacting Pampered Chef.
It's always after hours.
Okay,
For me,
so
anyway.
so basically, when you're on my newsletter, my website. Oh wait, I gotta sign in again. But
I wish they would fix that. It's such a pain.
I know it's slow. Okay, here we go. So personal website, and then when you go to my news, can you guys see what I'm doing here?
Yes.
Okay, so you see how under my news it says Donna's recipe box, and you click on that. Now, I did make my recipe box is a separate one from the one that I've given to all of you. Mine does have my name on it. So yours just says PC recipe box, and when they click on it, this is what they get with all of these collections. See, and if they click on any of these, this is the classics collection, the deep covered baker, the brownie pan, the manual food processor. So we'll continue. I need to add the egg cooker on here and some other things. So you just, but you see how by them having this, right, it also puts them here, and inspiration is right here. And when you go to be inspired, look at all this. They got so many cool things. Oh, they just changed this. New products and recipes, celebrate spring.
So what were you saying about Google Chrome? Is that what we need to use?
Yeah. So in order to put it there like that, okay, so go to my news again. So in order to put it here and to have a live link, the only way I heard it would work is for you to be using Google Chrome when you do that. Okay, so if you're having problems copy and pasting it and it being live, that's why.
I use Google Chrome, and I've not been able to get links to work. Yours is the only one that showed up.
Okay, so what do you mean?
Well, like when I try to post links into my news, I'm using Google Chrome, but my links are never live. They're just the links. So you would have to copy and paste.
Yes, I copy them into Word and then make them live and then copy them back in. That's another trick you can do.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so, and again, if that's too complicated for you, if for some reason it's not working, just send the PC recipe box to your customers. So everybody that orders a dinner set, send them the recipe box and they get all of them. And here's what happens too. They start looking at those recipes and they're like, wow, look at all these recipes for this grill pan. I'm going to get that next time. You know what? I think I'll book a show. And if you do call them within 48 hours, 24, 48 hours, they will. Hey, the other thing Belinda did say was that, used to be 48 to 72 hours as far as people's interest and excitement. In today's world, people are only excited for 1 or 2 days. So if you don't make that call or email or text them within 24 hours of that show, okay, you don't come home from that show and get it out there like, oh my goodness, I was just thinking of you driving home. We've got to do that theme show we talked about. If you don't do that, you're going to lose them because they're going to be off and doing something else. Isn't that true? I mean, aren't we all like that too? So, so I wanted to, just share that. Okay. Well, I think, it's getting late, and maybe what we'll do is continue the rest on our next call, but you do have the rest of the outline. The one thing I did add is a stronger booking talk at the end. And I've been using the catalog rather than the booking slide, but you can use anything that you're comfortable with. But again, using that, an opportunity to shop at 50% off. I mean, that's like, the more I heard that, I thought about that, I was like, wow, that's really powerful. Who would like the opportunity to shop at 50% off? I mean, who wouldn't? in any store that we love, right? So we really need to market that more.
Can I just share real quick, Donna? I had only my second cooking show last night or 2 nights ago, and I did that brownie pan cooking game, and I got 2 bookings. I actually sort of got a 3rd booking, but I could tell that 3rd booking wouldn't stick, but I let her play.
Okay.
So I just wanted to that I had some really good success with that, and I needed that because I had nothing on my calendar.
Good. Yes, and there are so many booking games and things that you can do, again, that just makes, creates more focus on it, right? Tell me again, do they get the brownie pan?
No, so each well of the brownie pan has a number and a prize on the front. So the prize could be book a party. The prize could be $5 off your order tonight. It could be which one of my customers got was half off the brownie pan tonight, which is great because she wouldn't have bought it anyway. So it was $10 more in sales that I wouldn't have had. Yeah. But she was excited because she was getting it for half off. Yeah. It was another one that could be 50. I mean, you can put whatever you want, like $3 off, and then I had them. So each had a corresponding number on the back based on what well it was in, and then they each picked a ticket out of a prep bowl, and on the ticket was a number, and each well that had book a party had 2 tickets in the bowl. Does that make sense?
Yep. So it's kind of like the dice game that we used to play.
Yes, it's similar. I was in another direct selling company that we did the dice game. It's very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, and it worked.
But featuring the brownie pan, and you're having people look at it and touch it and get excited about it.
Yeah.
And then they want it.
Bring that cookbook, and they'll really want it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, awesome. All right, everyone. Well, I know it's late, so I want to go ahead and cut this, but what are your best tips from tonight? How are you feeling about your cooking show right now? Or not your cooking show, but your ability to do a cooking show.
I like the change of the opening, and I remember I went out last month and made this much. Kind of just throw that in there at the beginning. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
On a funny note, going along those same lines, with my money that I made in January, I actually bought a BMW this last month. Granted, it was a $600 BMW, but, it's kind of fun to say.
There you go.
Exactly. But you know what? That's okay. We'll definitely get out and share that. Cool. Were you able to pick up some good tips today?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Good. So
can you post that opening?
The opening was a big deal.
Yes, and it's posted. I just posted the whole show outline on our Facebook group, so you can just go and print it off.
Awesome.
And
I like the dinner set. I like the dinner sets.
Yes.
Yeah, that too.
So watch for lots more. Next week, we're going to talk about recruiting, which is really kind of perfect that we're going to leave these last couple pieces of the show outlined to the end. And I would love to hear what's working for all of you. So again, this week, the one thing I want to remind you too, I think we've said it a couple times, people book because they want to help their host. And so one thing I started doing, I tried it and then I pulled it away and I noticed there was a difference. We're getting bookings, but sometimes it's a really pain in the butt to date them. Isn't that true? Or they'll say, yeah, I'm going to have it call me back. So what I did was I brought just some goodies. You could just do $5 goodies or whatever. You could even do a $5 free product, whatever. But when you book your show tonight, your date tonight, you get a pack. Different from they're booking, but they're going to book later on. Even if they're booking 3 months out, just getting a date tonight. I find 99% of all my book dates stick.
Do they get to take that home with them?
I usually, depends what it is. If it's something little, I don't care. But I usually tell them I'll bring it for you at your show.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. But
what I was thinking is, you know what? Maybe we should be giving something to the host too. So that's where that little coupon might come in, or what you might say is, you know, the host is going to get a bonus gift too. And you could give her a little $5 extra free product, and she's going to order it on the discounted thing. So it's really not even going to cost you anything. But it's a great way for her to say, you know, because again, they're doing it for the host. You can make it a win-win. So you and the host get a bonus gift tonight when you set your date tonight. I know you want to have your show, but let's go ahead and take 5 minutes and set your date. Okay.
And I do something similar, and I've been doing this like a long time, but I take 3 goodie bags with something, sometimes I order of the outlet, or sometimes we get it for free, and I actually put my next dates that I want to fill on there, and I tell them if they book one of my next available dates, then they get this gift at their party. And that way there's no really going back and forth of when they're going to book their party. It's just like they pick a date, and my calendar is always full when I want it to be. So
Good. Anyone else do any kind of incentive? All right, well, listen, make it a great week. Fill your calendar. It's spring, and people are booking, and shows sales are phenomenal. And now that you have some of these new tips, I can't wait to hear how it works for you.
Okay.
Have a great week, everyone.
all right, good night, everyone.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Good night.